I spent this past summer traveling around Europe, starting in Ireland, which can be one of the most expensive countries to travel in, but you don't have to spend a lot of money. So, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how I traveled to Ireland on a budget, step by step. And if you follow these steps, it could save you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, especially tips number 1 and 10. My cat is meowing. Number 1, accommodations. Dublin can be very inexpensive to fly into, but finding a place to stay there on the cheap can be a challenge. The average hotel in the summer of 2025 there was 217 euros a night, and that's about $255 at the current conversion rate per night. Finding alternatives is really the only way to save money. Now, I found lots of ways to do that as I traveled across Europe, but the way I chose for Dublin was to book a hostel, which was $36 a night for an all-female dorm room, which is a little more expensive than a mixed dorm. And of course, the earlier you book, the more selection you have, just like any hotel. So this tip will save you $219 per night on average. If you are a little concerned about hostels, I get that. I was too. But now that I've stayed in 3 different ones across Europe, they are some of my favorite accommodations to stay. They were all very nice, and this kind of accommodation gave me the best opportunity to meet other travelers. In Dublin, I met a lovely woman in her 60s from Australia who was a bunkmate and a world traveler. Tip number 2, add breakfast when it's a reasonable price. Because otherwise you could just go to a cafe, close by. But there's nothing more convenient than walking downstairs to a full breakfast with juice and coffee before you start your adventures. This full breakfast at this hostel cost me about $12. And you can add breakfast on for a discount when you initially book. My cat is still meowing like crazy. You'll have to excuse him. Tip number 3, eat fewer meals. If you eat a good sized breakfast, you can just have a small snack for lunch and then a heartier dinner when you're hungry. Of course, I get that this is a personal choice. I find this is sufficient, and it serves me. It saves me money and possibly time not having to stop for lunch. Tip number 4, take public transportation. I found public transportation throughout all of Europe to be inexpensive, efficient, and clean, and it started in Ireland. I took the bus from the airport to the hostel in central Dublin, and it cost less than €3. A taxi or an Uber is going to run you like 25 to 45 euros, depending on what time of day you take it. Tip number 5, whether you stay somewhere centrally located or you're outside the city to save a little bit on accommodations, come into the city and walk around. It is beautiful and extremely walkable. When you need to, you can take a break. You can have a seat on a bench or get some tea or a cup of coffee or eat something. But walking is my favorite way to see a city. Tip number 6, grab a sandwich if you're going to be on a long train or bus ride. That way you can have your lunch or your dinner right there on the train or bus, which I saw the locals doing. They would pick up a sandwich from a shop near the train station or even in the train station and just take it on the train with them. And that I mean, even the locals are looking to make it more affordable. Tip number 7, buy a few snacks for your room or your day pack. That way you can take care of any hunger pangs and not have to worry about resorting to a food delivery service or overpriced food at a tourist trap or the vending machine. Tip number 8. Now, this is a big one. Have a travel credit card. If you have good credit, you pay off your credit card each month, and you travel even a couple of times a year, having a travel credit card is essential for saving money. I'm talking about like an American Express or a Chase Sapphire or something like that. This way, while you're spending money on travel or on your everyday life, you're earning points, and those points can save you a lot of money when you spend them on flights or hotels. You also, with these travel credit cards, you get perks like with certain vendors and travel expenses, and you also get membership to airport lounges, and they also have things like travel insurance. And so I'm not an expert on this, but there are a lot of people on YouTube who know how to do it, and I've been watching them and doing my best to use it, which brings me to tip number 9 to save money. Use the airport lounge. The food and drinks are included in your membership, which is included with your fee for your credit card. If you have a short time, you might not be able to find the lounge, or it might be booked, but I had a 5-hour layover in Charlotte, and the lounge was the perfect place to take a break from the chaos and just sit down and have some quiet, drink a cappuccino, do some work, make some travel plans, and then have some lunch. And it has great Wi-Fi too, so definitely do the lounge. Now here's tip number 10, and this is where I saved the most money of all the tips I've told you. Use points to book your flight. I was flying to Dublin in season, which can be over $1,000. I got my ticket for about $79 in taxes plus points. Now I go over in a video I did 2 videos ago exactly how I did that, which I will link here. Y'all, I fell in love with Ireland. I didn't expect to, but I did. And so I decided I had to come back. It was such a short time. I wanted to get in and out of Dublin without spending too much money. But I decided to go explore a few more countries and come back to Ireland. So I want to know, what's your best travel tip for Ireland or Europe in general? Drop it in the comments, and remember to subscribe so you don't miss more budget-friendly travel tips. In my next video, I'm going to tell you 3 free or low-cost things I did for the short time I was in Dublin. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.